Three.
Hello, today we are talking about rhetorical analysis on the movie Black Panther about isolationism and colonialism and in between both worlds. Directed by Ryan Coogler, and made by me. So today we're gonna talk about isolationism and colonialism, how it could have a major consequence on the society itself and in between both worlds. Because with that, the story is always one meant to be persuaded. And for that, we're gonna be talking about the isolationism, colonialism, and in between both worlds. So let's start with a ethos. So ethos, we're gonna mention about Wakanda is a isolated country, bare prosperity. They don't want to involve any conflicts. Ethos involving between two characters are dealing in this situation. And logos, it's where we are having a final conclusion where you decide to want to open the work, want to open. So let's start first with the isolationism. So according to the Art of Institution is that isolation and Wakanda and T'Challa is the example of a king where he was young, inexperienced, and he tried to carry on a family tradition of Wakanda. But he tried to notice something, a flaw on isolation, because isolation where you had to stay in between the world in order to carry on tradition, but you want to bring peace, it's because of fear itself. And let's move on to the conclusion second, is that colonialism. According to the article in Colonialism in Africa, is that having economic and exposing to the world can also bring oppression. Eric Killmonger is the example of he wanted to share vibranium to the world because he believed that sharing vibranium will help a lot of people to fight back. With that, that's kind of similar, same thing, because when you feel like that you want to bring an economic, you want to go against oppression in order to fight back, and that's what the issue that we start to see that. And let's go to the third one, is the challenge in between both worlds. There's one quote that really got me resonated from Black Panther from IMDb. He also tells his dad that you are wrong, all of you are wrong. He realized that there's one major flaw of his ancestor, and he looked back and he realized that staying in isolation and keeping a family valuable tradition can really cause an issue, is that without helping, because he realized that Eric Killmonger was so innocent, is that he's so innocent that he realized that it was not his fault. It was the tradition of being isolated fault. And now we are moving to a audience. The audience basically we want to persuade in order to get convey what the movie is telling about, because it basically focuses on real life of issue like racial justice and consequence of global conflicts. Now we're heading towards the end of the conclusion. The movie Black Panther tend to really focus on the idea of isolation and colonialism can have a consequence on affecting the society itself and dealing in both two challenges for both worlds. And now we're heading towards this end. We want to say is that in the end, staying the same or living experience about the past cannot help you to move on. But for as a leader, you have to try something fresh, something new. And that's the same thing what happened to T'Challa, because he expressed is that in order to expose to the world of Wakanda and their technology, we will definitely coexist together, because we're not the same people. Overall, we're just a human being. Thank you.